Papa Pepper, Random Ramble, the Hagar option.
Alright guys, Papa Pepper, just doing a little vlog for you guys, thinking a little bit, because we moved down from Wisconsin to Arkansas like 2.5 years ago. It was more than a year before we even bought our land, and then after buying our land, it's been a while since then, almost a year now, and we're finally actually getting a mobile home down on our property so that we can live on our land. And I just want to talk to you a little bit about back when Abram and Sarai had a promise from God that they would have a son, and that God was going to give them a son. And you know, Abram's up like 100 years in age, Sarai's like 90, and they didn't think it was going to happen. So Sarai had a servant named Hagar, and she gave her servant to her husband and said, "Here, let this also be your wife, and sleep with her, and perhaps I'll have a child by her." And what happened was, obviously, Hagar got pregnant. She had Ishmael. And then later, what God had promised came true. And a lot of problems happened in a lot of their lives because of this. So I use that as an illustration because I think oftentimes in life we have an opportunity to come up with some other idea, come up with like a Hagar type option where, oh, well, you know, maybe we'll just do this instead and maybe the result will be good. We've certainly had a lot of those in our life, and I'm glad we've gotten away from taking them. It's taken a lot of patience to be where we're at, but we had a couple convictions. The one was that we should buy things outright. Now, when we moved from Wisconsin down to Arkansas, we had money for land. We had like a little over 10 grand in hand, and that was about it. So to get to the point where we're able to afford a place to live out of pocket is pretty much unheard of in today's society. That's why a lot of people have mortgages. That's why a lot of people have loans. And we don't believe in paying interest. We don't believe in paying usury. We believe that that's a curse. That's a curse a lot of people choose, where they pay a whole lot extra. So there was a lot of different advice we were getting. You know, some of it was just to do things that way. Some of it was, hey, just get a bunch of credit cards. I mean, I had a relatively high credit score, and they said, just get a bunch of credit cards, max all those out to build your house, and then don't pay them. Just file bankruptcy. It's not like a house loan. They can't take your house. I'm like, what kind of a plan is that? That's a Hagar option, in my opinion. Sure, it could get you a house, sure, it could get you there in the end, but not the right way, not a good way. So what I would encourage is for every one of you to consider the plan that your life is on. Consider exactly what you want out of it here. I believe in eternity and a hereafter too, but while we're here, we've got this to deal with. So what is your plan? What is your goal? What does your version of freedom look like? What would your ideal life look like? Know what that is, and then work towards it within your convictions, within your beliefs of, you know, how is it? Now, I believe that there was a way to do it. The reason we don't like usury is God said the curse is over here, the blessing's over here, and he said, you know what? To pay usury is a curse. He said to have to borrow from somebody and pay them back extra is not a good thing. It's something that ultimately we choose in this society, but, you know, I should be the slave of no man. Ultimately, if I took out a 30-year mortgage, I would be telling that bank that for the next 30 years, I'm their slave. I'm going to work for them. I'm going to pay them. I don't want to be a slave. I want to be a free man. So we stepped away from that even being an option, and we said, okay, we'll just do things outright. And you know, actually, I worked my butt off in a lot of different ways, but this is made possible by Steemit too. I want you to understand that, you know, being able to blog and interact online for cryptocurrency that can be turned into, you know, whatever country you live in, into Bitcoin or into USD or into euros or whatever you need, whatever you got. That's why we're able to actually get a house right now. That's the pathway that God used to provide for my family. I don't take that lightly. I think that's incredible. I think that's miraculous. I think it's insane to think about just buying a house or somewhere to live out of pocket in the first place, especially just for regular old middle class citizens of America. But then to have some place appear out of nowhere where people can post pictures and tell stories and write fiction and share poetry and stuff and actually get paid for it online just for the average person out there, that's insane. But we now know it's possible. So, that was the path. That was what happened for us. That's why we're sitting here. I'm actually sitting here right now waiting for the mobile home to come, so I can lead them up to the house site. That's crazy. Okay, it's been, like I said, 2.5 years in the making. The dreams have been in the head a little longer than that. But to be at this point in life, I think is incredible. I think it's amazing. I think it does show what is possible. I wasn't gonna take the Hagar option in my life. I was gonna say, you know what? Here's what God declares. He says, you know what? That's a curse. I don't want to choose to curse myself. I don't want to choose to curse my family. I want to choose the most blessed way, the most beneficial way, the most reasonable way. And regardless of how it looks compared to this world, compared to society, compared to anything else that goes on, I'm just going to take that as truth, apply that to my life, and we'll see what the outcome is. So, for what it's worth, food for thought. Hopefully there's some application you can find in your own life for it. So, Papa out.
As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.